For a long time, I've read many books, did a lot of research, but I really didn't start learning anything until I started to learn how to read people. And I found that it was more in depth, more detailed than any book I could possibly read. And when I started reading people instead of reading the books, I started to understand life just a little bit more. And I realized that when I did review and listen to people, I wasn't just dealing with an individual, but I was dealing with the seasons of those people. Not just a reflection, but I saw in them things that I disliked about myself. I saw in other people things that I would never want to do. I started to understand their ways, and I made reference to my own ways because I didn't want to do the things that I saw them doing. So a lot of times I took notes from people more than I took from books. And I realized that all the growth happens without us seeing the results. And many times I've wanted to give up on learning and conveying messages, but I told myself that I would also be giving up on myself. Because nothing is worse than a slave who is unaware of his chains and shackles. So I continue to study and do my research and understand that I can always get better by knowing. And in that understanding, I used to look at the birds and marvel at the way that they flew, or the way a swordfish or a shark or a dolphin would swim through the water and just jump, come back down. But what was more disturbing is when I would see a whale or a shark or a dolphin helpless. There's nothing more disturbing than a fish that can no longer swim or a bird that can no longer fly. And at the same time, I remember us as the Netaru or the Netar, the nature gods, and all of our marvels of agriculture and studying the stars with astronomy, putting all the blueprints of what everyone understands now, and somehow an amnesia took place, and we also became the bird who forgot to fly. And so then when I would watch wildlife on television and I would see the eagle soar, it would make me proud, almost admiring. But it was a different feeling when I see these same animals at the zoo, caged, imprisoned. And then I started to realize that the imprisoned animals, the ones that have to be part of the animal farm and the circus and the zoo, are different from the ones that are free. And when you don't have your wisdom, your knowledge of self, and your understanding of who you are, you don't never know where you're going, because you don't know who you are in the beginning. So you can't have no ending. So when your identity and your culture is taken away from you, you are the fish that can no longer swim. And then you become imprisoned in the zoos and the circus and the animal farms. We were always the indigenous people of magic, power, insight, knowing the forest, the woods, nature, understanding it, because we understood that everything had a consciousness. Before the books, there was awareness. It was innate, the things that we knew naturally. So at this point now, in the state of remembering everything that's taking place, we have to understand what to take control of. We have to be aware of the underground civilizations, the tunnel systems that go all over the world, the things that you were never told about in school. These are the things that are coming back to us that we must remember. Put down the books, ignore the television, and open your eyes and be aware, because there is a language of nature. There's a language of the universe, and it speaks to us in symbols. It speaks to us through the wildlife, the free, the animals. They follow all the instructions of nature. They know without reading the books. They know what they're supposed to eat without reading the books. The books are the indoctrination. The books, the words, are what cast the spells. The spells that got us in the state of forgetting what we're supposed to be, and now we're codependent off of a simulation, off of puppet masters who've created illusions for us to follow into the abyss of ignorance, stupidity, and imprisonment. Summoning, controlling an entity that you don't even recognize. You don't even know the name. You don't even know, as the priest would say, to have it say its name so you can know how to cast it out of the vessel. Because the demons have now become flesh and they're empowered. They're the same demons of the old days, but now they just wear different suits and hats and they control us. They're the ones in power. You know, I have no problem ever dropping seeds, but we're all going to have to make our own gardens, because I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes as well. I'm always learning. I'm a much more greater student. You know, the universe chooses its masters. But you have to question yourself and understand. In freedom, will you be able to survive without the phone? Will you be able to survive without internet programming? Are you going to take the digital ID? Because you talk about you would never be a slave. You're really, truly a slave once the machine has you under its control. It already has you already, but not all the way. But once you take a digital ID, forget the spiritual or the biblical perspective. Just think about it. Once you become part of technology, the way AI is damn near omnipresent now, once you put a digital ID, you'll be able to be turned off and turned on. You really have shackles. And nothing is worse than a slave that's unaware of his shackles and chains. The bird has to be told when to fly. The fish who gets controlled to swim. The circus in the zoo. Slave unaware of his shackles. So remember that everything is consciousness and you don't need the machine. Just be aware and learn how to control the unseen. Because believe it or not, the spirit is not inside the body, but the body is inside the spirit. Ancient Nine Mystery School, Saint Germain.